Hello people, welcome back to my YouTube channel. In this video we're going to discuss 3 things I wish I knew before I became a firefighter. Now, so before I become a firefighter, I didn't really know anybody in the job. I didn't know anyone that had been in the job previously, so I didn't really have any idea of what to expect or things like that. I found it very hard to kind of find things online about firefighters, hence why I'm making these videos for you guys, just to give you an insight of different experiences that I've been through and what I wish someone would have told me back when I applied. So let's get on with the video. Right, so the first thing is health, right? So this is definitely a big aspect of your life in any career or even outside of your career. Now, what comes with health is sleep deprivation. And what I mean by that is the night shift that we do. So we do have moments of rest throughout the night. However, that's all going well if we don't get called out to an incident. Obviously, we're on call, we're there at the station throughout the whole night, 24/7, someone's always at station, so there's not a time in the day where we can't get called out. And I've personally found on night shifts that even some nights we don't get called out, it's not the same as like being in bed at your own house. It's completely different. You never really fully sleep. You're almost kind of awake because you're almost preparing yourself for the alarms to go off and to get out. I've found that even when we don't have a shout in the night, I still have to go home and have sleep because just of how my body feels, and I just feel battered. So when people say, "Oh, you firefighters sleep," it's false. Like it's not what people think it is what I'm trying to say. The big thing, probably the main thing, is the cancer within the firefighters and the cancer in the fire service. It's a big thing. So we're obviously exposed to a lot of hazardous chemicals, gases, also smoke as well from fires over like a career span. So yeah, being exposed to all these different chemicals and stuff adds up over the years, which therefore means that firefighters are much likely have a higher chance of getting cancer in later life. In fact, in a study that I've read, it said that 90% of firefighters are more prone to getting brain cancer than the average kind of person who isn't a firefighter. So that just puts into perspective to how high the risk is compared to other people in different workforces. So things that I've seen in the fire service personally, which I think are good, which help with workplace cancer, is we've now got these hygiene packs. Speaking to the other firefighters from previous, they say that now everyone's a lot more vigilant on dirty kit, like carrying the toxins on your kit. It obviously goes off the laundry a lot more frequently. Getting dirty kit on the truck, stuff like that really. So everyone seems to be a lot more aware and more vigilant of this kind of risk, which is good, which is something I'd say is a positive. Also health, this is a bit of like a jokey one, but it's quite serious. There's a lot of cakes I've found on fire stations. A lot of people bringing in like cakes, cookies, sweets. It's not a bad thing, I'm not saying it's a bad thing, but it's definitely a distraction if you're trying to eat right and eat correct. You've got to have a lot of willpower at a fire station. However, on the flip side, we do have gyms as well, which is something that I will talk about in a further video. So yeah, that kind of does counteract the cake argument. However, a lot of cakes is never, well, I suppose it is a good thing, but it can also be a very bad thing. Now, the next thing is clean shaven. So currently, as you can see, I'm clearly not clean shaven. My beard, luckily, more fortunately, my beard grows out a lot quicker. So on my 4 days off, I'm able to actually grow stubble, which is a benefit, I suppose, whether it bothers you or not. But yeah, clean shaven. So before I joined the fire service, before I even applied, I wasn't aware that you had to be clean shaven. If you know me or did know me, I used to obviously have a big beard. I've had a beard ever since I was 16 now, ever since I can remember. So it's when I found out, it was probably halfway through the application process. I kind of looking into it, and then I was like, oh crap, I've actually got to shave my beard. So it's definitely a big thing. A lot of people don't think it's a big thing. I suppose each to their own, but for me personally, it's part of like who you are, isn't it? It's your identity. I suppose it's like getting a new haircut. When it first happens, you're not really used to it. However, afterwards, I will say, further on down the line, you do get used to it. And to be honest, I think I'd much prefer stubble here now rather than a big bushy beard. So yeah, I suppose that's the benefit that's come out of it. I know there was a few guys that I went on the training school with, and they also, before the job, they had a beard as well, and they felt exactly how I felt. how I felt, sorry. I'm talking about it is only a beard, however, like I say, it affects people differently. I'd much rather have a beard than not have a beard. However, the perks and the benefits of the job is worth losing a beard over. So that is something that you've got to ask yourself, and it's definitely something I wish I knew before initially applying. But then you might ask yourself, why do you need to be clean shaven? Why is that a requirement? Is it just there just for the sake of it? And the answer is no. So it's actually quite an important reason. So when we wear our BA sets, we obviously wear the mask, and the thing is with the mask, it has to have obviously an airtight seal, so no smoke can get in your mask. That is the main reason. And obviously if you have a beard, it's not airtight, it's not skin, like it's not skin tight, which therefore will affect you in an incident if you was to get smoke in your mask through like your hairs in your beard, and could actually end up killing you. So it's definitely a serious point to note on, that they don't just do it for the sake of it. There's a very important reason why they do it, which is, you know, very understandable. I'm one of these people that unless I can see a reason as to why something has to be done, I don't really understand it unless the reason is valid. If someone's just saying it for the sake of it, I don't like that. I like to have a reason. However, with this kind of scenario, there's obviously a very good reason for being clean shaven. But just some personal experience to anyone that's sitting there now thinking, oh my god, I've got a beard, and like, have I got to shave it off? Have I really got to shave it off? It does hurt initially, but you do get used to it, and it's just a change, isn't it? It's just a change. That's one thing that the fire service is obviously big on, is being open to change, and I guess this is a change. Okay, so the third and final thing I wish I knew before joining the fire service is all the computer work. Now, I don't know about anyone else, this was just me talking on experience. Before I joined the fire service, I seen firefighters as people that were very hands-on, very practical, outside, doing things that are like physical, and you don't really think of sitting behind a computer, do you? Now, there is obviously a benefit that comes with that, which I'm going to talk about now. You're probably wondering, computer work, what's putting out fires got to do with working on computers? However, there is a side of the fire service which comes under prevention, and that is things such as, so when we go out and do safe and well visits, which are like home visits, fire safety visits, we obviously have to go back and we have to put these on the system, so they update on our systems. Doing this is obviously on the computer. Things like, we call them e-academies, which are like learning packages to keep your knowledge refreshed in your mind, almost like mini assessments that you can just do while on station. These get sent to us, and then we obviously also have to do them. Sometimes you have to do them every year, every 2 years, sometimes every 3 years, and some of them you only have to do once. But they're kind of good because they keep your mind refreshed, and you might, because there's so much to learn, you might not have thought about or looked at something in a while, and then you see that it's expiring on your computer, so you need to do the assessment. Other things such as, we call them SSRIs, which are kind of go into sites, and more so like your high rise and your taller buildings, them kind of places, and we'll kind of go around and see what the risks are there. Anything that we need to know as firefighters if we was to attend this incident, where the hydrants are, where the entry point is, where the best access is, where the gas main is, where like the sprinkler systems are, stuff like that, stuff that we need to know. This then gets updated back at station on the computers to kind of keep everybody familiar with any changes that's happened over the past, I don't know, 2 years, 1 year, stuff like that. I often find that I'm on the computer more times than I'm at incidents sometimes, and that's just how it is. But I guess the benefit and the reason for that is it clearly shows that the prevention strategies that we're using, the safe and wells, the SSRIs, things like that around the community are clearly working because they're preventing fires happening. So yeah, I guess that's a good indication to show that what we're doing is working. So almost like if I'm talking about computer work, I'm not saying it in a negative way, I'm more so saying it in, it's just not what I personally thought the fire service was like. Doesn't mean that I don't like being a firefighter, it just means that it's just my opinion basically on what I think. I actually know someone who did leave because it just wasn't what he thought it was, and that's each to their own, you know. So he didn't think it was what it was. He probably thought the same as me what I thought it was, and it just wasn't for him. So that might be you now watching this. You might think, you know what, I'll give it a go. I'll get in. I'll do what I can. If I get in and I don't like it, you're not stuck here, do you know what I mean? You're not trapped here. So yeah, this has been 3 things what I wish I knew before I joined the fire service. I hope you've enjoyed the video. I hope you're enjoying all the videos so far. If you've got any questions or anything like that, message me on my Instagram or my TikTok, because that's where all the updates and that's where all the behind the scenes are, over on my TikTok anyway. Please make sure you subscribe to my channel. There's going to be loads of more videos coming. So yeah, I hope this has been a very informative video for you. I hope it's something that you've learned, a video that you've watched and you've learned something. Let me know if there's any other videos you want to see me do. I'm happy to do anything within reason. These are just really some things that I wish I knew personally, so I'm just cascading it back to you guys if you were interested in joining the fire service. Thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you on the next one.